Welcome back. We're back to the show here. Hey, thanks for coming along. My name is Darren. This week we're going to show you the body parts I promised. Talk about this oil pan again and what we come up with on it. And see about putting a new one in. Let's see how that goes. Because my day hasn't exactly been the smoothest day I've ever had. All good. So what we had here, we talked about last week. I won't elaborate too much, but if you're new coming to the show, all this chunks of metal in the bottom of the oil pan. They're stuck right to it. But like something got hot. But then I noticed them all the way at the bottom. And if something got hot, I'm making a mess. Then it wouldn't have made it through all that oil hot enough to bond to the aluminum. So that's kind of what I was figuring. But Tom works on a lot more of these vehicles than I do, so I gave him a jingle, and he was telling me it's totally normal. I think he even commented on the channel. Matter of fact, I remember now he did, so that everybody would know that that's normal. Now we're into the word normal. Just because it's normal don't mean it's right. Let's not get carried away. We'll move right along. This oil pan gasket we're going to reuse due to the new one being wadded in a ball. I took it off. It was pop riveted in, two places, not just one. Cleaned it up real good, wiped it down with paper towel, rag, and what have you. Checked it all over. No tears. It's not distorted or anything, so we're going to reuse it. This oil pan will go back to him for whatever. Now I'm going to go oil pan, body work, back to oil pan. So just walk along with me. Here, I'll grab you right here and we'll run over there. What we got going on this week, not the 71. I was planning on it, but this week was such a nice warm week. It was a good week to paint. Yeah, I know it was a good week to weld too, but I couldn't do everything. I tried. Over here on the fender, excuse me. Yeah, that's the 1971 C10 in Spanish gold right there. That thing. Maybe next week. This week we're still having fun with the 68. I said it, we're having fun. So what we have here on the 1968, this is it doesn't really matter, front passenger fender, because there's a rear. No, there's not. I painted this, and I might as well just go right to the bad stuff, and we'll cover the good stuff after that. I painted both fenders today. I had them all prepped up through the week, and I would put primer on them, or yeah. And I wet sand them, massage them down real good, and look for any flaws I could find. Yeah, there was a few. Matter of fact, standing right here, I'm going to mark this spot when I go back and check out my video. There's a dent. This is the brand new one, okay? There's a dent. Excuse me, mosquitoes. Right here's a dent. Just like the slightest little door ding. This is the new one. So I didn't catch that in all my sanding. But that's okay. Because when I painted this today, it was coming really nice. I'll get you in closer to show you. Come along pretty darn nice. Coat 1 went good. Coat 2 went decent. Forgive me. And then coat 3, I went for, heavy coat, glide coat, flow coat. There's a million names for it. But you put the last one on a little heavier. That gives you less orange peel, more shine. And it all went bad. Now, maybe it was going bad all along and I didn't notice because it takes time. But I have some pretty substantial stuff going on right here. All right, let me get you in close. Then I'll talk about how I paint it. And you guys, I'm going to just shake the internet up on this one. So this is the behind the fender. This would be the door. Behind the wheel, I mean. The lower dog legs, some guys call them. Pretty decent shine. Pretty smooth paint. Where's the next shine at? I don't know. You can see one up here. Looks good. It's coming along nice. We come over here. Now I got you in close, so bear with me. And I can't tell the focus on this thing, so I'll swing you around. Over here near the front of the fender, where the headlight would be, the shine was coming along nice, and then this happened. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to get you an angle. You'll notice it. It's wrinkled. Can you see the wrinkles? I don't know if you can see them. They're wrinkly, it's bumpy right here. And it's still soft. And it's got more of those wrinkles down here and here and all through here and a couple more up in here. The point is, yeah, I'm stuttering. The point is, that's as good as you're going to be able to see. All this white, and I got plenty of light, and it's just cameras. What I've got to do, get you set back down so you don't get motion sick from my walking around. What I've got to do is let this cure up completely. And that's going to take, I say completely, that's like 30 days, but it's got to harden up. It's got to cure in so I can go back and do my favorite thing. Block it all out again. Get these all sanded off. Reseal it. Reprime it. Re-wet sand it. Repaint it. That sounds like fun to you? Maybe I'll put in a midweek video so you can watch all that garbage. What I believe's happened, because I have enough experience to know better and not do this foolishness. I've had everything primed up nice, looked good, and then there's a couple more spots. I think there was one here, and then of course that new dent I just found. I should mark that for I forget it. And I think I grabbed a different name primer. And when you're dealing with different name brand products, sometimes they're not compatible. So whatever product you picked, or I pick in the future, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into Chevy, Ford, Dodge, that kind of mentality, or Milwaukee, DeWalt. We're not going to get into all that. Whatever brand you pick to do prime and paint work, buy everything that brand. Yeah, you'll get away with it like this once in a while, because I do once in a while. I actually get away with it more often than not. The problem with that is you start getting into the habit of doing that garbage. It's not worth the, 50, 60 bucks sometimes. In this case, I just quick did the math, and even if this had worked, it only saved $2. Why did I even think to try it for $2? That was not a good choice on my behalf, and I admit it. And we move on. We learn. Maybe this time I'll learn, but don't follow my lead on this. So this all has to be resanded, and it'll be splotchy again or reprimed and all. And guess what? I'm not going to show you. The next time you see it, it'll be hanging on the wall with the rest of the parts. And I'll show you those real quick today. And we're not probably ever going to talk about it again. So being that we're talking about body parts, let's get them done, and then we'll move on to this oil pan work. Over here, now I know you've seen some of this. Over on my wall, because I'm letting things cure, dry, whatever you want to call it. And we're not ready to put things together anyway. But I got that cowl. That's finished product. I think you already seen the grill. That's finished product. And then I'm going to walk you over there just because it kind of looks nice. Over here we have the front fender. And of course it's driver's side, which is cool. But I know, white wall with a white fender. But it's all together. It's in final coat. I'm just going to let it cure up. We may wet sand, polish it. We may not. So that's where the final little discussion with you comes in. This paint I use, I don't talk about on purpose. I'm going to get you in kind of close to show you. This particular project is somewhat of a budget. I mean, we got a decent budget, but nonetheless a budget. And when you start spending $1,000 of your budget, plus all the labor to do a enamel or a base coat, clear coat paint on a vehicle, it gets very expensive. Again, we have to reprime everything, wet sand, to prep it with the same brand I would on something that had much money. This wasn't that much money. But if I'm using expensive car paints on this kind of thing, you're going to go with a base coat, probably even a sealer before your base coat. And after your sealer and wet sand, you might need to prime it still, depending on how good that turned out. Then you're going to use your base coat, and you're going to use your clear coat and all your solvents. So to shave that $1,000 off of this vehicle, because it has dents and dings, and it is mostly original truck so far, that these body panels are already 50, 55 years old, I think pretty doggone good looking fenders and doors and stuff. Well, you'll see those coming up. They're not so beautiful. But my point is, it's a daily driver on a gravel road. Tom takes care of his mom and dad, and he's at their house 2-3 times a day on a gravel road. He's going to drive it every day. What's the sense of spending all that money the first week you're going to get stone chips? So you might as well just do this economy paint. Now, you people are going to laugh at me. I promise you this is going to be an internet issue. Somebody's going to freak out and say it's garbage and it's not going to look right and it's not going to last and all that. And that's fine. Everybody has their opinion. I've used this stuff before and I like it. I'm not promoting this name brand. I'm going to hide it from you at first. I'm not going to promote this name brand paint that it's the only paint to use. But this specific blend from this specific company is good. And I'm 55 years old. I'm not about to start trying to find new companies and spend a bunch of money to find a new product that might be $2 cheaper or a different name that you like better. I just found one that works for me, and I'm not going to mess around trying to find anything else. This is way more durable than you believe for a rattle can spray. And it is, ta-da, Rust-Oleum. Now, again, it has to be the professional. Rust-Oleum makes plenty of paints. I'm not going to comment on the qualities. I don't buy them, ever, unless I need a specific color. It doesn't come in this. But this has a way harder coat, better finish, more durable. I don't know how to explain it to you enough. Professional has to be. The regular stuff, not for a car. It'll be hazy. It'll have what they call dry spots in it where you'll see where the paint didn't flow good. It scratches easy. You won't be happy with it. This stuff, I'm just telling you what I use. I'm not telling anybody you should do this. I'm not saying it's the right way to go, but it works really well. And when this whole thing is done, a year after that, if you guys are still with me on this channel, I'll give you a 1-year update on this truck, and we will get down on our hands and knees, nitty gritty, with a camera, and show you all the good, the bad, and the ugly. You have my word on that. I swear to it. Now, you've never heard me say all that before. I tell you I'm going to work on this truck next week, but maybe next week. The word's maybe. I'm telling you this will get a 1-year update. If there's any way possible, if I don't pass on to a new world or something, but you get my point. So let's get to work. All this talking. What we have over here is the new oil pan. I think I showed it to you a moment ago. But I use the old seal on it. It's in great shape. New plug, new seal, new bypass. It's got the oil plug in it. Here's our new dipstick. We're going to do that today too. The gasket's already on it, and I'm going to put it up in the motor here in just a moment. But why don't you guys, let's see how good this goes. This is a good time. I know, zoom. All right, I'm going to slow down on spinning you guys and get motion sick. This is a good time to change the dipstick. I was not going to be quite honest. I was going to just do it later. I said it later. But that later sometimes gets the best of me. And in this particular application, it would, or likely would. What I want to do is take a dipstick out with the oil pan off. That way, if we have any trouble, and sometimes in these 5.3s or 6 liters, whichever 6.2s, they'll pull out kind of hard because they're on an angle. And if we have any trouble with the oil pan off, because we've got it off anyway, we can just take us a hammer or whatever, tap the bottom of it, pop it right out. So let's just see how good this goes. All right. Well, let's just give her a little jiggle. See if it'll come right out. Okay, well, so much for my go underneath with a hammer. That's got quite a bend to it, doesn't it? Well, let's see how the new one fits. It looks different. Is that bad? I mean, what do I know? So it went down in that hole, but I don't know if it still does go down in that hole. We'll learn this together. There's where it was, although I don't know where that mounting bracket's going to go. Where's that? Oh, gracious. It doesn't. All right, we'll try. I think it goes to the next one. I don't know why. I just think so. Can I think that? Can I try? Right here? I think it goes here. I could. No, okay, last time I could see the hole. Am I heading your way? Can you see what I'm doing? Why don't I get a flashlight? Gracious me. Got one sitting right here. We can both see better. All three of us. Just kidding. Oh, where is it at now? I see it. All right. So we come down in here, and there is basic fitment. It's not happy yet. We'll find its happy place in a minute. I'll fumble around for a minute. How about somewhere in there? I don't know. This is my first time. I don't really like it. I think we should go one more forward. I'm thinking right in here, maybe. Still doesn't really. I'm just going to have to get my head in there. Bear with me. Where it go now? Maybe it don't fit. Yeah, I'm sure it has to fit. It's for this motor. We're getting closer. Should I go up farther? No, that's got to be it. I just got it spun wrong, right? Like this, maybe? I guess I could pull that spark plug out of my way. I didn't really want to jerk on that motor a lot. Come on. Wow, sorry that was loud because those are porcelain. I didn't know that. Never put my fingers on them before. How about up here somewhere? The farther to the front we go, the better it is to check the oil anyway, right? I know there's at least one of you right now saying, come on, dude, figure it out. Wait, that went right in there. And look, there's a hole right there with no bolt in it. I didn't take that bolt out. I'm liking that. That went from way back here all the way up there. Awesome. I wonder if that same bolt will fit back in there. Wouldn't that be handy? I guess I got to tap her in a little bit. I still got to seat the O-ring at the bottom. Give that a little pushki. Nope, it didn't go. Yep, still not. The old one pulled right out because it's got a brand new O-ring on it. It's going to seal good. It's going to go right in there. Yeah, no, not going to do it. All right, I guess I'll do that off camera. Or if we got time at the end of the show, I'll come back and revisit that. I'm just going to get down there on the bottom and tap it in with I don't know, probably a screwdriver or something I shouldn't, but that's what my plan is. So let's give this oil pan a try, and you guys can watch me fight through that for a few minutes. That could be entertaining. Isn't that what we're after anyway? A little bit of entertainment along with this? All right. I'm gonna move you down. Don't you worry. We'll get lights in there. I think there's enough light in there already. I'm gonna get you closer. You want to be closer. You want to see. If I skin a knuckle, you want to be right there to see every bit of it, right? Come on, that's good stuff right there. I don't have my glasses on. Is that in focus? Oh, I'm just teasing. I'm in a better mood today. All right, well, that's that. The new pickup tubes on there. That's the new windage tray. For those of you that are interested, that windage tray is shorter. I don't know why, if you were asking, but it is, and I put it in there because this came with it. Why wouldn't I? So here's our oil pan. I guess I should have got a couple of bolts first. It did come with new bolts, which I'm very happy about. Plus we got old bolts we might need for something else. Who knows? They look a little heavier duty bolt too, which is somewhat surprising. They got a large, very large head on them. Anyway, I like them. Should I put two in? I'm going to wish I did. All right, let's see if I can do this all alone, all by myself. It's going to go, ain't it? I don't know. You know, that's all aluminum, and that little bugger's heavier than you think it is on this awkward position all in here. Yep, I'm sweating. Nothing. It's okay. It's all right. How it's just because I got that in my way. Yeah, I know I shouldn't have my arms under here, but I've got blocks under there. I've got a double strap. It's gonna be fine. Can't drop that bolt, but that's okay. I can actually reach it. I got it. Yeah, I got it. You believe that? Let's get the second one in there. If you get two in, it should pretty much go together, and I don't have to be underneath it at all, which would make both of us feel better. Hey, kind of snazzy. Don't worry, I'll wipe my greasy hands off of it later. I said it again. All right. No sealant necessary on these. The gasket goes around them all. And there's no open holes to the... Well, I shouldn't be that confident of myself. I don't know my LS motors yet. But I don't believe any of these. I should actually talk to Tom. He would know. I don't believe any of them go into any oil galleys or anything. So we'll find out. That one feels a little tight. I like to get them going by hand first. I'm just paranoid. I don't want to cross thread anything. That makes for a long day. I thought that looked funny. That one's not wanting to go in. And I'm not forcing it, not even the slightest bit. Aluminum pan with aluminum block. You could cross thread that thing. And it would be nice and tight about 3/4 of the way. And then you'd have a mess. See how much easier it's going? Just took it out, restarted it. Not a big deal. A few more of these started. I could always get upside down on my head and yell and scream at you guys, but maybe I won't put you through all that. I just run all those in with my impact wrench and torque them down and a little bit later on. I think that's in there. Just gotta make sure everything gets in, gets tight, and gets torqued in. So you get the idea there. It's just a simple fit. But I'm going to have to take you back over that dipstick. It's bothering me. I can't just leave that go. Let's get that dipstick in there. It just take us a minute. And then we can say we got something done today. Oil pan's in. Here's that dipstick area. I'll get you that light. See, if right down here by the starter, if you got just maybe you could, if I raise you up a little, you can see where I'm going to go. It's shiny. You might have to zoom in, but it's that bolt right there, or say bolt, that hole right there, past this aluminum. That's the part we want to get to. And I just got to tap that tube in there and it'll seat. So I'm thinking I'm going to go old school. I'm going to grab just a regular screwdriver, plastic handled screwdriver, and grab my hammer sitting right here. And I think we could just give that a tap or two on that flare at the bottom, and we'll be all set. Of course, I said we'll be all set while I'm looking for my screwdriver. I didn't leave you. I'm right here. So you keep an eye on that. I'm going to give it a smack or two. See if we can get that to seat down in there nice. Make sure we get a good seal. And if the microphone gets crackly, I found out it's because I'm too close to the camera. But bear with me. So, come on. That's got to go in there. Who says I should hit it harder? It's starting to go. I just don't want to knock the end off that or create a leak. Oh, she wants to go. And I did it. A few more tabs than I wanted to put on it, but so be it. Then we got this bolt. Move it back up. Then all we have to do is put that bolt in up here. And we'll have our new mounted, look at this, fits so nice. Newly mounted and farther forward dipstick, right by the fill where it should be, versus way back here somewhere by the transmission. Or the transmission fill. And then we'll slap that tube in there. This is going good. Now I want to keep right on working. Can't help myself. Is this the right size? Nope, that's not what I would have eaten. Oh, here it is. We'll just use this. Makes a little noise, but just for a second. Here we go. That'll be. How about give it a little extra? There. Not going anywhere now. No torque on that one. Well, I didn't break that thing. Didn't know they made those in porcelain. I think I have to buy me some of them. If I don't, I'll be breaking this. I'll have to buy one. All right, done. We got it. Let's put the dipstick in. That's the only thing that would make this any more possible. Gee whizzards, Darren. Make this a little more complete. Get that dipstick put in that tube. Alrighty. Pretty decent quality. Copycat. It actually has a little rattle to it, which bothers me. I'll hit that with a hammer. Got one right here. I'll just do it right now while you're listening. Put it right on the cement floor and just give it a whack on each one of them rivet things. Now that I put it on the floor, I got to wipe it off. But this is a two-piece. Don't know why they do that, but they do. And these, I don't call them rivets, were loose, and they had a little rattle to it. So now they don't. Put that in there. Put that in there, and oh, that's got a good tight fit to that. Mission accomplished. What else do we have? Is that it? Is that all we got for tonight? Yeah, it's getting late. I'm gonna finish up tightening that oil pan real good, double checking the drain plug, and then I have to tighten up my air conditioner. I never got around to that. While it's out of the frame, it's a lot easier to get in there and tighten up the mount, the main mount, and then the air conditioning pump itself. That's not important. But so you got to see a few things. You got to see some paint. I don't think we're gonna do any more paint next week. I'm kind of painted out for a while. I'm gonna get this redone. I already talked about that, but the next paint I'm gonna do is the top of this thing. After I finally get my button gear and get the exhaust done in this. Other than that, I got the fuel pump to throw in it, and it'll be ready to drive. We're gonna get that going as soon as the weather breaks. Get this finished up. Get a little run time on it. I'm a little nervous. It's a motor I rebuilt. We get that pulled out of the shop. This summer, it would be cool if we get that bed liner put in. I've never done it, but maybe I can show you guys how I do it. The first time, anyway, how I'm going to do it. And I got some touch up to do on the floor still. I don't want it perfect. I just want it nice. So there's some things coming ahead of us. I want to get Tom's cab in here. Now that we've got, basically the whole front clip, not the hood, but we've got the front clip all in here and everything's painted and undercoated. I'll go back and touch some things up, but being that front clip's done, the next step would be the cab. The cab's a lot more work than these fenders were. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I am not going to chop each piece and part out of it, and we already know this by the 68, and put everything back in, spot weld every perfect spot like it should be. I'm going to put it together as good as or better than it originally was. More of the modern day vehicles that are actually panel bonded together with a good quality 3M panel bond. It's not cheap, but you don't have burn through. Your undercoating stays intact. The bond of the glue between the two pieces of metal keeps it from rusting. I think it's a much better way to go. So we'll talk more about that when that cab gets in here. And I don't know, that's about it for the day. Now, those of you that have been around a while, you know I got to push this off button about a dozen times, so here goes. Last week I was wrong. I think I said 4, and it was the first time. I'll go with 2. So here we go. 1,